Bunker bases are great, but they have limitations. They often require that you sacrifice space and movement for their security. But what if you could fit all of this in a bunker base that rivaled a 2x2 in size? What if that bunker base had not one bunker, but 3? What if I were to tell you this is that base? Coming into a honeycomb with a nice little window to see what's going on outside. We open up this first garage door into a locker, always good as a solo to have some quick changes. Couple drop boxes, another garage door, and a weird empty space down below. Coming through here, a couple vending machines that can only be accessed once this is open. A couple extra loot boxes worth of storage on each side. Coming over here, we have our tier 3 as well as a mixing table and a couple boxes. Opening up that, another locker always useful as a solo player, and a room that leads to nothing. Clearly a bunker, but no way to actually get inside. Coming over here, we have our repair bench, 4 small boxes, and 3 big boxes. That's going to give us lots of storage for cooking in our furnaces. Now obviously we don't have TC access yet, and we don't have access to anything on the first floor. So placing this roof piece over here and breaking that, you heard some things break behind me. We've now opened 2 rooms to our left and right. Going down here, we have our first bunkered loot room, featuring 4 large boxes, 2 small boxes, and 4 barbecues. You can actually fit more than that, but it does get a little harder to loot things, and I'm not a fan. You'll do most of your cooking, sulfur cooking in this furnace here with the metal cooking over here. To get out, just crouch jump onto the furnace and jump to this corner. The same can be done over here. However, with this loot room, we also have an oil refinery. This is incredibly useful as a solo player or small group, and we can simply replace the glass and repair it whenever we need to. And finally, we have the hidden room. Here is our TC buried under what was a high-qual metal floor surrounded by high-qual metal walls. That TC is incredibly secure and is going to cost someone 15 rockets to get into no matter what direction they come from. When you're ready to close everything up and go to bed for the night, simply replace your pieces, upgrade them to the appropriate grade, and go to bed. You can also, for extra security, do this, but you'll have to spawn outside to get yourself out in the morning. As for bags, one can be placed here or here, another one here in the doorway. There really are several options. Get creative with it, and it'll really depend how many players you have. In order to build this base, first we're going to start off with a square foundation and a triangle foundation, and then off of the square foundation we build 1 more, and then 15 triangles. Once you've double counted that as 15 triangles, go ahead and place a square on the end and destroy the triangles. Finally destroy these last 2 squares, and we can go return to this last square and build back to the original triangle. When you get to the end, you'll see that you can't place the final square, and that is intentional. If that is correct, we can destroy these squares. Once that's done, we're going to build 2 triangles, 2 squares, and 2 more triangles. I don't plan to expand any further, so this is okay for me. Next, we're going to make sure that this is placed correctly. So coming over here, we want to make sure that we can place a raised triangle. This is important. Alright, returning to this core, we're going to place walls surrounding the entire area and upgrade them all to sheet metal. This foundation in the middle should be high qual. Once this is done, we're going to place 2 half walls on this foundation here. Upgrade both of those to sheet metal. Place a window here, upgrading it to sheet metal. A wall here, upgraded to high qual. And a wall here, upgraded to sheet metal. We're then going to place a door frame on either side. Upgrade those to metal or stone. And then we're going to create a shelf. That'll be done on both sides, with the shelf itself being stone. Next, we place walls on either side and flip them around so that they're facing us. This wall should be metal. Next, you're going to want to get out. You can do that with a jump if you'd like, or plan better. And we're going to place 2 walls facing outwards, upgrading those to high qual. Alright, now we're going to close this in, but we do have to do things a little weird. So we're going to first place our squares on either side. Triangle here, a triangle frame here, a triangle frame here, making sure to place it off of this piece. And again on this side. Upgrade all of this to sheet metal. Next, we're going to place a very important piece, and it's this floor piece. This floor piece has to connect to these 2 half walls. To ensure that that happens and not connects to one of the other 3 walls, you'll want to make sure you're looking at this wall, watching it go back and forth, and just as it goes back, we're going to place there. Before we upgrade this, we're going to make sure that we've done this correctly by placing these triangles. If they place, you have indeed built this part correctly. Next, we can destroy those triangles, and we can upgrade this square to metal. Coming down here, we're going to upgrade this foundation to metal, but first we're going to place a ramp piece. This ramp piece has to be stone. If you upgrade it to metal, this will not work very easily. It becomes very irritating to try to build this bunker. However, this helps people from trying to eco-raid down through this foundation. Next, we're going to upgrade this to metal. Place our doorway, a window to look out of, upgrading both of those to stone. We're then going to place 2 half walls, upgrading both of those to stone, and build 2 roof pieces. We place this half wall here, turning it around and upgrading it to metal. Next, coming up here, we see we've got a nice big gap, which really isn't ideal. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a roof piece. You can place it on either side and it doesn't matter too much. However, I actually prefer to place it here, which will give me a platform that I can use for the lockers later. I'm going to upgrade this to stone. Next, we're going to close in this second floor and upgrade all of these walls to stone. Finally, we can close in our roof. And if you do want to later build for roof access, I would not place this triangle, or at least keep it wood so that you can expand later. You'll notice sometimes you have trouble placing pieces, and that's because here, this piece operates on the same principle as that, and it causes some issues, so I need to make sure I'm snapping to this piece instead. Finally, before we seal that in, we're going to just place a roof piece here, make sure nothing happened, and then destroy the roof piece. You can then close your doors in, and place a double door frame here, creating an airlock. Once this is done, we're going to go ahead and lay out our interior. To do that, we're going to place a double door frame here, double door frame here, double door frame here, and a double door frame here, followed by a single door frame here. Next, we're going to go ahead and close this in and upgrade that to sheet metal. At this point, it would be more than safe to come over here, slap your TC down, get everybody to auth on it, and put a lock on it. I do recommend placing it a little further back so it'd be a little easier to auth on it, but you can jump down here. Upgrade these frames to stone. Once we slap the garage doors down with all of them facing inwards to ensure that we don't have them obvious from the outside, and then you're ready to go. At this point, if you haven't decorated and you need to hop off, you can always pop in the seal, and to do that, we're going to simply close it in and upgrade the pieces. I do like to upgrade this one to high qual. Now keep in mind, you only want to do that when you're going to be logging off, or if you expect that you're getting raided. If you intend to continue this design, or you simply want roof access, one thing I'd recommend doing is, instead of this drop box here, since we do have these to operate as drop boxes, I would not place this like this, rather instead something like this. See, as a solo player, I rely on minicopters a lot, and having minicopter storage is incredibly important. It's for this reason I try to incorporate it into just about every base. And by doing something like this, I give myself minicopter access and storage, as well as a little peek down spot to catch door campers and people coming to raid. This also finally gives me roof access, which is great for raid defense and just making sure you're not getting camped. Massive shout out to a fellow Rust YouTuber, Spinky, for the inspiration for this base design. He came up with the base, the Triple Override, which is a much bigger, beefier version of this base. Personally, I needed something a little tighter as I am a solo player, and when I do play in a group, it's usually at most a group of 3, so we're not looking for an overly massive base. But if you are a bigger group and you're looking for something with more security and how to upgrade this base, check out the Triple Override on Spinky's channel.